Hey guys, so first of all, I would like to apologize for my absence. I know I talked to you guys about a few months ago where I broke my camera and I needed to fix it. Turns out it's going to be really expensive to fix and I might as well just be purchasing a new camera, so I basically tried to save up for the camera you're currently watching me on, which was kind of a struggle just because I'm in college, don't have a whole lot of money, don't have a whole lot of time to work, full time or anything, and it was kind of sad. So basically what I was doing for a while was renting cameras for my school. Really great, like definitely a great opportunity to be able to rent, really nice DSLRs for free. However, I was renting from the same like maybe 2 or 3 cameras that hundreds of other people were renting, and there wasn't a whole lot of availability there, so hence why my videos have been so sparse. So I'm really sorry. I definitely take full responsibility because it was definitely my fault that the camera broke in the first place, and I probably could have purchased a cheaper one, but I was just being too stubborn about it. But regardless, it was a bit of a struggle, and come Christmas time, my beautiful, wonderful boyfriend decided to take it upon himself to purchase my dream camera, which is the one you are currently watching me on, and as the Canon Rebel EOS T5i. Oh, it's so pretty, and I cannot believe, like, it's so surreal filming on one of these, and he's definitely the greatest. He's very supportive of my YouTube endeavors. He's been my best friend for the past year or so, and he's just so incredibly amazing, and he supports the whole YouTube thing. He doesn't really personally understand it just because obviously, he's a guy. He does like weird guy things. He likes cars and video games and stuff, and this is really not his deal, but he's very supportive of it because he knows how passionate about it I am. I just cannot express like how grateful I am, not only to have such a beautiful piece of equipment to use, but also just to be back and film for you guys. I love making videos. I cannot express like how awful it was not being able to just film one whenever I wanted to, and it's just the whole thing just really was like a dark raining cloud over my life, and I tried to remain positive and just keep busy with other things, but it always came back to this, and it always came back to you guys, and I'm so happy to have you back, and I promise that you will see me at least once a week. If you're watching this video right now, thank you so much for coming back, because I know I have been so flaky and awful, and I personally don't like to watch people like that, so I know it's really annoying when you get invested in someone and then they just disappear and reappear and you never really know, and it's really sporadic. I don't want to be that person. That's not the type of YouTuber I want to be, so I really hope you guys stick around because I really have a good feeling about this coming year and many years to come. It's the day after Christmas, so I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. I mean, tell me if you got anything amazing. I know this is typically the time to do 2013 favorites, but I don't really have all my products here because, as you can tell, I'm not really home right now. I am at my boyfriend's place, so I only have the products that I've really just been using the past month or two. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with skincare. I have 2 products that I don't really want to touch on too much just because I've talked about them either a couple months ago or over a year ago, and I've like talked your ear off about them. The Badescu Rosewater spray and the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that these used to be absolute staples. This is a really great spray for your skin, your bare skin if you like, but I also like using it after I apply makeup because I use the Rimmel Stay Matte, so this kind of takes away the powdery finish that tends to leave, and also just in general it makes your skin feel really nice and really rejuvenated. And I live in the desert, my skin is dry, not a great combination, so this really helps out. Also, this guy, best moisturizer in the world, my holy grail, perfect if you have normal or dry skin. If you have eczema, this is great. You could use this on your face and your body. I primarily use it on my face, and it's amazing. Great staples. I think you should check them out if you're interested in kind of boosting your skincare. And then my last skincare product is one that I got more on a recommendation from the YouTuber Hannah Yep. She did an empties video, I believe, about, I don't know, a couple months ago, and she talked about her tea tree oil, and this is the Finest Nutrition Purifying Health Tea Tree Oil. It's 100% pure Australian oil. I know there are tons of other uses for this. I need to definitely look into that, but for the time being, I've been using it for blemishes as a spot treatment, and it's amazing. I definitely see results the next day when I use it at night, and sometimes for the more hefty blemishes, I have to wait a couple days, but it's great. It's all natural, it's really cheap, and it's really potent. I've used this nonstop for the past maybe 2 months or so, and I've barely dented this bottle, so definitely a great investment if you're looking for a more natural spot treatment, because a lot of acne medications have, you know, something very similar to this in them, so why not just get, you know, the actual source of what's helping your skin. So I really love this. I definitely want to kind of look into, you know, more uses for tea tree oil. I don't really care for the smell, but I like it, and I like the effects that it has on my skin, and you don't really smell it after a while. I only have one hair care product this month, and it is kind of similar to the macadamia oil repair mask, and this is a much cheaper option, and it is the L'Oreal Total Repair 5 Damage Erasing Balm, and I love this. It's great. It's definitely not as viscous as the macadamia one, but it is, you know, just as hydrating. You have to use a little bit more, but it's significantly cheaper, so I definitely think it's justifiable buying this instead, just because this is $5-6, whereas the macadamia just went up to $38 a tub. Ridiculous, in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to opt for this for a while. Yes, it's turning into a staple. Moving on to face makeup-y type things, I have one concealer, and it is the MAC Studio Finish in NW25. This is a little bit thicker than what I would normally go for, however the coverage is kind of what I'm aiming for. I like to go lighter on the foundation and then heavier on the concealer. That way I have a lot less of the heavy product on my face. I haven't found the perfect powder to set this with, and I also think that during the summer this might be problematic, but I think since it's cooler out now, I can handle, you know, a bit of a thicker formula. So I'm going to use this definitely while I still can, while it's still nice out. But it's great. I use it under my eyes, and the only reason it's okay is because I use the Benefit Eye Cream. I just need to find a perfect powder to set this with. I have a feeling I need to go back to the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish when I can, just because that powder honestly just works the best for my skin, so I need to get that at the end of my project pan. But for now, I've been using this in conjunction with my Rimmel Stay Matte and my BB cream, and it works pretty well, and I really like it. I love the coverage, and also it's kind of thicker in the pot, but once you kind of warm it up with your skin, with your fingers, it works really well. I love blush, and I have two blushes this month, and they're completely different. First one is one I've mentioned before, and it's MAC Modern Mandarin, and it is this bright orangey coral blush, mostly orange. It looks a lot more pinky on screen, but it's definitely orange, and it's awesome. It is a satin finish, so it's got a bit of a sheen to it, but no crazy shimmer by any means, and it's wonderful. I know that, you know, wearing pinky rose goldy eyeshadows, which by the way I've been doing like all year, you know, wearing that, it's kind of hard to wear pinky blush with it because it kind of looks like pink overload sometimes, so I like to pair it with an orange blush. Obviously I go with a light hand so I don't look like a clown or anything, but I think it balances out really nicely, so I really like this, pairing this with my pinky products I'm going to mention later. Yeah, good stuff. And then my second blush is completely different. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Blushing Bride. I love this. This is a color I normally wouldn't gravitate towards, but I really like it. It's really nice. It's got some crazy chunky shimmer in there. However, for some odd reason, it doesn't really transfer on the face. Like, I'm wearing it today, and I don't think you can really tell. So I'm definitely grateful, because I don't know how I would feel about that being on my face. Really pretty, mauvey, great for winter time. I think just adds a really nice flush that's a little bit more natural than the other blush I was showing, just because I don't think anyone bleeds orange. I love these blushes. This is definitely one of my neglected Amazonian Clay blushes. I have like 4 or 5 of these, and I don't know why, but I'm going to make an effort to wear this more while I still can, because it's really pretty. Now moving on to lip products. One is, again, another one that I've mentioned so many times in the past year or so I don't want to talk about it too much, but it is the Pores Lip Butter. This is in the shade Mango, and I actually just hit the bottom of this. How exciting is that? You see that pan? Yes. Speaking of pan, I will be doing a Project Pan update video soon. I will say that I have stuck to it. I am not done, but I am halfway, or past halfway there. I don't have all my panned products with me, so I couldn't really film that today, but I definitely do want to talk to you guys about that, because it's been such a struggle So I will update you on all of that for those of you who've been asking. Anyway, I really love this lip butter. It's great. I know you might be a little put off by the price tag. It is $12 for a tinted lip balm, which seems kind of crazy. However, I will say you get your money's worth because that's at the bottom, the very bottom. So you get this chock full of product. And it's, you know, not the most incredible lip balm, but as a tinted lip balm, you know, just applying underneath your lip color, it's really nice, and I really like it. I also really like the smell. I like that it kind of cancels out the mauvey tones in my lips, so it kind of neutralizes them a bit, and I really like it. My next product is, again, one that has been neglected and sitting, collecting dust in my collection for God knows how long, and it is a lip liner, and this is from the brand Jordana. I don't really have anything else from Jordana, but I've heard really great things about their mascara. I know D. Lopez Girl really likes their mascara. This is Eric. This is Brandon's roommate.
What's up?
What's up? You're
What's
too?
up? You have a nice camera.
Oh, thanks. This is Tyrion.
Nice tripod.
Shut up. He's a Pomeranian. He's really cute. Oh, hi, Ralphie. So it's like puppy overload in this apartment. Ah! Yeah, they're cute. Furry friends everywhere. Hi, sleepyheads. How you doing? Oh my God! His tripod comment, by the way, is addressing the fact that I have you guys on 7 books and a t-shirt. I didn't really anticipate having to buy a tripod, so that will be coming soon. Anyway, moving on. So I've been really loving this lip liner this month. I really want to try out other Jordana products just because they're so cheap. And this, I know lip liner is kind of hard to mess up, but it's very pigmented. It's a twist up, so you don't have to worry about sharpening, which is great because I am lazy and very forgetful, and I always lose my sharpener when I need it. I don't know if that happens to you guys too, but I would just like to talk about this color though. This is in the shade Tawny, and I'm wearing this on my lips today. I would never normally wear a color like this just because I normally like, you know, peachy, nudie, whatever colors. But I think maybe because I've been wearing glasses more, I've been trying to kind of balance out my face a little bit. Bye, Eric. I've been trying to balance out my face with, you know, a bit darker lip colors, and also because it's, you know, it's winter / fall time right now. I do tend to lean more towards, you know, summery lip colors, but I figured while it's, you know, cooler weather, why not kind of feel, you know, festive and be, you know, one with the people and wear darker lip colors. And I think this is kind of as dark as I go. So anyway, definitely want to try more colors, but for now, really loving Tawny. So if you're looking for kind of like a muted mauvey berry type color, I think this would be a great option for you. I got this at Cherry Culture, and I'll link it in the doobly-doo. Now, you guys know I love eyeshadow. I have been gone a while. That has not changed one bit. I love wearing eyeshadow or anything eye related. It's kind of like my favorite place to dress up as far as makeup goes. So I have 2 single standalone eyeshadows that I really love, and the first one is a MAC pigment, and I've had this for, I think I've had this since I first started making YouTube videos. I think in one of my ancient getting ready with me videos I used this color, but this is a MAC pigment in Rose. Oh, it's so beautiful, and it's so stunning to look at, and I've loved it, and I've used it so many times. However, I've barely dented it. Like, it's still chock full of product, but it's a great pigment. It's really shimmery. It's got like a rose, you know, base color, but it's got the really pretty gold, you know, pigments to it, and sometimes it looks kind of yellowy, and oh, it's just so stunning. Love this pigment, really great. I love using this wet and over a color tattoo. Amazing. I remember the lady at MAC tried to sell this with one of those big bounce eyeshadows. Ew, do you guys remember those? Those things were awful. But, you know, the grossness of the big bounce shadow cannot deter me from getting this pigment because it's so stunning. Oh, I just want to treasure it forever. It's so beautiful. And then my next standalone eyeshadow is again one that I've mentioned before, and this is one that I actually got as a gift or a giveaway prize from D. Lopez Girl 83, and it is the Lancome Color Design Infinite Eyeshadow, and this is an electrifying sparkle, which is a beautiful pewter shade. I've talked about this before. It's kind of like the L'Oreal Infallibles. Apparently you're supposed to use these with your fingers because the warmth of your fingers is supposed to kind of like, you know, really activate it and melt down the pigments. I tried that, and it actually does work really well. If I use this with an eyeshadow brush, I tend to use it wet just because I like the way it looks better, but you can also kind of buff it out, and it kind of, you know, blends a little bit darker, which is great because then I can just use it as an all over the lid eyeshadow and make it look like I used 80 different kinds. It's the magic of shimmer. Great eyeshadow. I love this. Dawn, thank you so much again for sending this, along with all my other awesome goodies. I've definitely been putting them to good use, and I love wearing this. I might wear this on New Year's. I'm not quite certain, just because I got a new palette for Christmas, but we will see. And then I've also been really loving 2 eyeshadow palettes. One, again, I've mentioned, I'm sorry, but it just goes to show that a lot of my products are tried and true. And this is the Naked Basics palette from Urban Decay. And you guys have seen this, all matte shades except for this one. This Venus guy is really shimmery. Love this, use it every single day. I always use the black one to top my liquid liner. I always use this dark one to fill in my eyebrows, and I always use Naked 2 to blend out my eyeshadows, and Walk of Shame and Foxy are almost always on my brow bone, and I almost always use this in my inner corner and on my Cupid's bow. So every single eyeshadow in this palette is useful. I love it. I think this is a great staple. I am a huge fan. And then my second palette is officially the last product I bought before I went on my Project Pan, and I think just because I felt so guilty for buying it, but it is the Lorac Unzipped palette. This is stunning, stunning, hands down my favorite palette. Absolutely love it. Beautiful pinky shades. I remember talking about this when I first bought it, and it is just all of my favorite colors in one palette. So beautiful. And I know that the Naked 3 just came out, and you know, it's very, very similar. I really want to do a video comparing the two. I'm not wearing this on my eyes today, but just know that I use this a lot, and I have used this a lot, and it's incredible. So if you don't want to quite, you know, dish out 52 bucks, go 10 bucks cheaper for 10 eyeshadows that are equally as amazing, and opt for the Lorac Unzipped. I'll definitely do a full video on all these shades and do swatches and everything soon, but just know I love this palette. Anyway, that concludes my December favorites for you. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas, or I guess holiday, whatever it is that you celebrate, and I hope you have an amazing New Year's, and I will see you very, very soon. Love you guys. Bye.